Alright, and welcome back, folks, to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, playing as the Spanish Empire, where we continue on our quest to make Spain great. Now, we got a lot of stuff we need to do. Lots of refits. We got a lot of these mothballed ships that, unfortunately, because we don't have any allies. Actually, let's do a check real quick. So, Greece, Brazil, Egypt, Norway, Chile, Colombia, Mexico, Romania, Persia, Netherlands. If I'm correct, that's all the allies that can possibly be on the board right now. Because places like Mauritania... actually, does nobody have Portugal? Wait a minute. Okay, no, they have Portugal. Okay, China has Portugal. So, unfortunately, places like Libya, Mauritania, Liberia, places like this, Sudan, they cannot be allies. Same thing with, who are these guys again? Is this actually... Bahrain? Hold on. No, Qatar. Oh, Bahrain's right here. Yeah, Bahrain's controlled by the Brits. But, you know, these smaller nations cannot actually be allies. Sarawak or Malaysia, same thing. They can't actually be allies. Unfortunately, we kind of got unlucky. Indonesia hasn't spawned yet. Indonesia can be an ally, which is really weird. I don't understand why these places, like Thailand, same thing, can't be an ally. It's really weird. I don't understand it. Albania, etc., etc. Wait, does anybody have Bulgaria? Does anybody have Bulgaria? Yes, the UK has Bulgaria. It's actually really funny. The only ally that Britain has is Bulgaria. So it looks like the Germans, the Chinese, the Americans, and the Italians are actually sitting with the most allies, which is kind of impressive. Usually it's the big four: the Brits, the French, the Germans, and the United States. So two out of the big four have more than two allies. But yeah, so unfortunately, at that point in time, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to scrap these bad boys because we don't have any possible allies to actually buy those for us. So we're just going to get rid of them. Now, with our other refits and everything, oh yeah, hold on. Scrap this. Okay, so overall, our light cruisers, again, these are just to add mass to our engagements. Our main priority is our torpedo boat swarm. Now, of course, we're starting to build the Type 1Bs, which, if we come down here real quick, Type 1B torpedo boats. These are the new production model of the refit of the Type 1. So the Type 1B, much faster torpedoes, much longer range torpedoes, even though it's only double the range of what we previously had. They're also significantly faster torpedoes because they have the fast propulsion. So these torpedoes are going to be absolutely insane for the AI to deal with because, well, screw you and screw whatever you decide to put in the water. So good little situation for us. Of course, our budget is way, way over what we would like it to be, but it's okay. It's okay. We will be fine because we have a bunch of war reps that we just took from the bastards. So we have plenty of cash to spend, which then will allow us to get this all refitted. And then we can also start working on getting our fleets into these other regions, which, again, our main goal is destroyers, torpedo boats, lots of torpedoes, lots of fast ships. The light cruisers are just there to add the mass to larger engagements. We're mainly focused on killing things with torpedoes. The guns really aren't a consideration at this moment. Once we start getting destroyers, that's when the guns become a consideration. So, past that, we move forward. I'd also like to inform you guys that the Naval Arms Race mod preview, I'm tempted to start doing mod previews again for games, because I used to do that with my old channel. If you guys might not know this, I don't think I brought it up. I used to run a YouTube channel when I was like 16, 17, doing mod previews for like Company of Heroes and a few other things like that. I think it would kind of fit the theme of the channel a little bit. But I'm thinking about doing that. But the first mod preview will be the Naval Arms Race mod. I know I did a stream of Dreadnought Improvement Project, but after comments made and thinking about things from a much more bird's eye view of the current state of Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, I have to agree with people when they say that DIP is kind of shit. It's very much a mod that was made with the idea of, this is how I want the game to be, not improving the game. It's literally, I'm molding the game within my image kind of deal. And no shade at Brother Monroe for that. If you do you, boo-boo. But after playing DIP on that stream way back when, at this point in time, it made me realize, like, yeah, that's actually a pretty... actually probably the reason why I didn't like it nearly as much as other people have. So, unfortunately, the DIP will probably not make an appearance simply because I just don't think it's as good as it could be. It could be a great mod, but I just don't think it's... really... I don't think it really does anything to improve the game. I think it literally just sets it up to where he wants to play it. So as you can see, our relations are actually really good across the board. We don't have any real threats. And this is actually a good thing, because now we can sit back, we can kind of just do our thing. The Italians are basically going to be our permanent punching bags. Every so often, we're just going to go to war with Italy until we can get the mass built up to actually fight them. And then once we have the mass to, or not fight them, but to invade them. Once we have the mass to invade, then it gets real good. Which again, we're aiming for 11,000 ton heavy cruisers, 12,000 ton heavy cruisers, somewhere in that region. Big, build 10 of them. That's that will be referred to as the Armada. The Armada will be what we primarily use to invade things. We're going to primarily focus on heavy cruisers or armored cruisers, as they should be referred to. We're primarily going to focus on armored cruisers in the beginning, and then we'll transition to battle cruisers later down the line, because we want really big guns. All right, so... yeah, it's going to take us a while before we're able to get to that point, unfortunately, but we'll slowly but surely get there. The refits are coming through. The construction of the overseas ships with the Type 1Bs are coming through. I think I'm going to... hold on, I want to look at this real quick. So in overall capability, the Type 2 frigate is, capability-wise, has better capabilities than the Type 1B corvette. So I'm going to add a few of the Type 2 frigates to every one of these garrisons to act as basically the heavy element. So you'll have the heavy element, the light element. The reason being is because the Type 2s, the torpedo boat destroyers can take mine layers. Or I think they can take mine layers, and I know for a fact they can take mine sweepers. The Type 1B, or the torpedo boat, I think it might take mine. It might get or not Minelayers, but Minesweeper. I think it might, but I don't think it does anymore. I think they did make that change. So we'll focus. We'll get a few of the Type 2 frigates in each of these garrisons. So then at that point in time, you'll have a pretty significant light force in each region that, yeah, it's not going to have the overall mass to really project power, but it's also going to have the speed, maneuverability, and firepower in the case of its torpedoes to literally kill whatever the hell it wants and not really have to fear much. So we're definitely gonna have some fun with this. Now, torpedo size wise, we're actually gonna start focusing on torpedo size as well. Torpedo propulsion, getting extra range is good, but we do need to get to 18-inch torpedoes relatively soon. But we also need the heavy cruisers to actually be able to invade Italy and her colonies, which at this point in time, it really annoys me that we're going to have to invade the colonies, but yeah, it is what it is. And then once we have Eritrea, that's going to make it real fun, because that means we're going to be able to put a detachment in the Red Sea, which then just interdicts everything, and it's going to be fantastic. Magnifico. Okay, so is everything done refitting? Let me make sure. Yes, everything is up to its current standard, which is very nice. This means that we've got a pretty good advanced force. Technology-wise, we're doing pretty decent. Finance-wise, we're minus 2.6 million, but that's also with our transport capacity cranked to max to rebuild the merchant marine. Our tech budget is fully maxed out. Crew training's only at 25%, but at the end of the day, because we're relying on lighter ships to actually do our fighting, we're actually in a better position when it comes to crew than we naturally would be. Actually, I need to check something. How many crew is this? 1,800? Not bad, not bad. Okay, I think we can live with that. I think we could live with that. Because at that point in time, if we add armored cruisers to the mix, we could probably add 5 armored cruisers per fleet. So 5, 4, 10. Or should we go a 5, 5, 5, 5, 10? No, we'll go with 5, 4, 10. I don't want to have to build any more light cruisers. I want to keep the cruiser count minimal, to save on crew and save on cost. We just need enough in order to be able to actually invade stuff. Like that's what we primarily need. Small gun wise, what are we looking at? Mark II 3-inch guns are coming in, which is good. Basically, with main battery guns, 9-inch guns are going to be on the armored cruisers. Just from the perspective of give us some heavy firepower. Like 8-inch guns would be nice, especially at more higher tiers. 8-inch guns are amazing, but we don't have those high tier guns yet. So going with the 9-inch guns and being able to slam a jamma anybody when we smack them with something, it's kind of a nice feeling. Now, if you are interested in actually designing ships right, a lot of people have been talking. I've been seeing some conversation and whatnot. There's been a lot of discussion on like what's the right way. Oh, this actually obsoletes gunboat and torpedo. Oh, okay, sorry. I was reading that. I'm like, wait a minute. This is not. Why am I losing torpedo boats? Like, what's going on? But if you want to design ships properly, one of the things that you guys are going to have to really, really knuckle down on, and this is very, very important. What you're going to have to knuckle down on is that no matter what, stability and hull form are the two most important things. If the stability sucks, you have to put lighter guns on it because they need to be able to shoot faster than they miss. If you're putting 10 rounds in the air at a time and all of them are going to miss, you want to be able to put 10 more rounds in the air before they hit the first 10 rounds hit the target. So that's where stability comes in. And then hull form, being able to actually maintain rapid speeds, because rapid speeds favor small guns. They do. That's why I've kind of got on this hook about the 3.9-inch gun. I just think it's a better gun than going with 4-inch guns, from the perspective that it's not as in the extra damage you get from the 4-inch guns at the early game. It's like, yeah, cool, but I get Mark II 3-inch guns before Mark II 4-inch guns, and the 3-inch guns shoot a lot faster. So, yeah. Now, there is something to be said about the hull, or not the hull, the weight of the guns. 3.9-inch guns, for example, are heavier than 4-inch guns. However, it's at this tier, like you guys notice, like my torpedo boats and my torpedo boat destroyers, they are built exactly the same. Not exactly the same. There is an extra gun on the torpedo boat destroyer, but all on the center line, 2 fore, 2 aft. 2 fore, 1 aft with both torpedo launchers. Like, they're built this way because, yes, it this gun's firepower is minimized by the forecastle, but at the same time, if I'm skirting around and doing a whole circle around the enemy, that gun will always be able to fire. If I'm pursuing, yes, it can't fire, but if I'm pursuing, that means I have to try to catch up with my enemy, which at that point in time, catching up is more important than the actual firepower. So, just take those things into account. Like, just take those things into account if you're coming into this game, you're learning how to build, so on and so forth. Now, again, unfortunately, the problem with this game is that it's a grand strategy game that's trying desperately not to be a grand strategy game. It's really weird. It's really off-putting, and the devs, unfortunately, I hate to say it this way, but I think the devs are basically a bunch of man babies when it comes to things. I think they had this idea in the back of their head, like, oh, we're gonna build this game that's perfect for us, and it's like, yeah, but you have to make money off that game to justify the existence of the game. You're not doing a very good job at that. All right, so we're going to pop this up to 30%. We're only losing a little bit of money. We'll regain that in GDP growth here in a minute, so that's all good. These guys are commissioning, which will actually regain a lot of money after that as well. So we're almost to Harvey, which is good. We'll switch from armor quality down to torpedo size. Yeah, we'll go to torpedo size. Actually, fuck. Armor quality, small guns, torpedo size, armor quality, torpedo size, small guns. Torpedo size, small guns. Yeah, that's the way I should do it. I'm just thinking from the perspective of the second generation light cruisers, the Type 2 light cruisers. The Type 2 light cruisers are going to be 5.5 inch gun cruisers. Max displacement light cruiser 2s with 5.5 inch guns. 5.5s, in my opinion. Now, a lot of people, they will contest this and they'll go back and forth on it, etc., etc. But in my opinion, 5.5 is the best, like, pursuit gun cruiser. Or pursuit cruiser gun. you have to have a cruiser that is fast enough to keep up with the enemy, and you need a gun that is powerful enough to do damage, but also able to fire fast. Because sometimes that enemy might be a little faster than you, and you need to be able to kill it. But you also need to be able to hit it with enough rounds to actually put it down. A nice median, in my opinion, is the 5.5-inch gun. Now, a 6.1-inch gun, or 155 millimeter, because I was playing around with the 6.5 idea in the Russia campaign, but I actually found that 6.5, you lose too much DPS for what the 6-inch gun is supposed to do, but you can increase it to 6.1 inch, and it actually basically doesn't lose anything while also gaining a bit of damage. So 6.1 inch, all good. Anything beyond that, I wouldn't put it on a 6-inch gun. Now, of course, Mark 4, Mark 5, 6-inch guns, yeah, you could probably do a 6.5 and be perfectly fine, but that's just different technical reads, different little things that need to be taken into account. That is glorious to say. 8 light cruisers, 68 torpedo boats, 3 million coming in every month, and we're looking decent. Like, we're not looking half bad. We can probably crank this up just a little bit more. Yeah, we'll put it up to 35%. You know, the crew, it's gonna grow. It's gonna grow slowly. Unfortunately, crew training has, as a cost, has increased exponentially in the early game because you have to train the crews. So a lot of you guys might not realize this, but if we come over here real quick, these guys are cadets. Let's see if we can find. Okay, so these guys right here, they're green. They are going to cost less than these cadets because these cadets still have a shit ton of experience to gain until they're at trained level. These guys who are green don't have as much experience to gain, so they're less expensive. Let's see. Do we have anything that might have gotten to, like, trained or something? Or did we only get to really green among most of our stuff? Looks like we basically just got green across the board. But that's fine, you know. But the point is that these crews, the reason why it's so damn expensive in the early game to recruit crews is because this number right here includes training the crews you already have. So you're trying to recruit and also train. Whereas if you were just recruiting, say all your crews were at trained levels, and you were only recruiting into the crew pool, it would actually be less money overall. It's freaking annoying how absolutely screwed you get in the early game when it comes to crew training. Because if you're Spain and you have to try to maintain a fleet and everything, it's just really, really freaking annoying. So at this point in time, we are not going to be building any more ships. That was a lie. That was a lie. I almost forgot about the Type 2 frigates. 12. Okay, so we need 12 more. I almost forgot about these. And we're just gonna pop these bad boys. Santiago de Cuba, Habana, Manila, and Davao. All right. And boom. Okay, so those are the last of the ships that we're building. So we'll end up with a total of 80 torpedo boats at the end of this, which pretty good. Pretty good. But what this will do is okay, cool. We have all of our ships. We can't build the bigger stuff yet. We're still researching it. So we have plenty of time before we're able to do anything. And we still have a lot of time before we're able to start building our destroyers. Because even though we have destroyer class unlocked, we need 1,100 tons and several tech upgrades in order to be able to actually build them because of weight displacements and shit like that. All right. So, small gun, this is small gun 3? Yeah, okay, that's 3-inch. We're up to 7,000 heavy cruiser. Okay, so we're doing fine. We're doing fine. We do need better engines as well for our destroyers. Our destroyers are going to come onto the field as literally one of the most advanced units that we have. Like, when they are new build, they are going to be some of the most advanced units that we field, specifically because they need to be in order to be combat effective for what we need specifically. So it's going to be kind of a slog. We can also start prepping for a second war with the Italians, and we can kind of just do this where we use the Italians or we use other people to kind of just get some free cash, or just not. Well, I do want to change my government. So we do need the prestige right now. You know what? We'll do it. Like, we need the prestige. Like that. Like, this is the weird situation we're in where we actually do need the prestige in order to be able to change our government, because our current government screws us royally, actually. So we do need to switch governments. Speaking of, let's actually use the Chinese, because we don't want to really focus on anything other than the Mediterranean for right now. Mediterranean and Africa. What? Oh my God. The French out of Djibouti taking Ethiopia. Italy? I screwed you, apparently. That's funny. But we really don't want to do anything over here. We kind of just want these colonies to exist. Same thing over here. We kind of just want these to exist. Like, if we get a mission to take something, then cool. But until we actually build up our fleet, our long-term fleet, because our fleet is, like, these torpedo boats are going to be around for fucking ever. These light cruisers, they're going to get sent to the colonial areas to act as a reinforcement to the fleets, as a reinforcement. Like, they're going to be around for a while until we can build extra bigger cruisers to send over there. Like, we are going to be relying on these ships for a long fucking time. So, you know, our focus, we want to make our focus as centered as possible, which it's better to focus on Europe than it is to focus anywhere else at that point in time. And, you know, if we're able to take Northern Africa, if we're able to take Italy, if we're able to take the Horn, if we're able to take the Gold Coast, etc., or the Ivory Coast, etc., etc., if we're able to take all these places, we can put ourselves in a fantastic position. So really important. Really, really freaking important. All right, so we are 2 months away from getting Harvey, which is good, because we can finally actually, you know, have reasonable freaking armor on our ships, or reasonable weighted armor, I should say. Harvey will move over to torpedo size, which then we're going to go up to 18-inch. We'll stay at 18-inch for a bit, go over to small guns. We're going to research up to 5-inch guns. And then these, the Type 1 cruisers, we might be able to put 5-inch guns on at Mark II, but I'm not 100% sure. But at that point in time, we should be close to having light cruiser 2 hulls available at max displacement, which then at that point in time, we're looking solid. I would love to have an ally. Somebody I could sell boats to. Like, I wish that was a thing right now. It's like I just want a friend. I just want a friend, damn it. But yeah, actually I forgot to do this. But we're gonna use China as a prestige farm. We're literally just because relations are basically zeroed out with them. We can use them to farm prestige. So we're gonna do that. And then with the Italians, we're gonna let the Italians. So we have 2 prestige farms we can use. So we have the Germans and the Chinese. We can use both of them as prestige farms. Now, of course, there's always the chance that we lose prestige, but, you know, it is what it is. And there we go. And the Austrians are attacking Serbia. Yep, they're attacking Serbia, all right. What's their... Let's do a army logistics. So, army logistics check, 31%. I give them a 50-50 on whether or not they take it. That's better army logistics than they normally have, so they might actually be able to fucking take it. So, we'll see. Yeah, I say a 50-50. Alright, so Harvey armor, torpedo size. We're up to 8,500 ton heavy cruisers, which, cool, but we need bigger. We need the bigger cruiser. We actually are at advanced technology. Very nice. Very, very nice. And I had somebody tell me I shouldn't have restarted, and it's like, maybe I was right on restarting. All right. So, okay. So the Type 2 frigates have deployed, which is good. Crew-wise, we should have enough by the time we start building our heavy cruisers, or armored cruisers, as they would be appropriately known as. Let's go ahead and shake hands with the Germans. And let's see if the Austrians make... Oh, they're making headway. It's going to be slow headway at first, but that's also historical. A lot of people don't know this, but Serbia is actually really easily defended ground as a region. The Balkans are like this across the board. Same thing with same thing going into Russia. So these massive rivers that are like arteries throughout this entire region, these rivers add so much defensibility to this region right here. It's the same way in the Balkans. There are some great river channels, as you can see on the map here, that basically make it almost impossible to fucking invade certain parts of it. So I'm not surprised by slow progress. Ooh, that's not a good ratio. That's not a good ratio, Austria. You need more tonnage, bro. Ugh. We don't like that kind of ratio. That's a bad ratio right there. That's a China level ratio. Fuck. Poor infantry. You know there's a poor lieutenant riding back home on the front line being like, I watched an entire fucking platoon get deleted by a single Serb with a hand grenade. And that's all he had. He didn't have any firearm. He just had the hand grenade, and he beat everybody upside the head with it. He then used the hand grenade as a... I can't even make that joke. I can't even make that joke with a straight face. Oh my god. They made a little progress. Made a little progress. Here, maybe the Austrians will actually capture it. We'll see. We'll see. I just love the fact that we're actually making money. We're actually, progressing very well. Like, yeah, we haven't gained any new territories, but that's okay. Like, it's kind of okay that we're actually being able to expand. Like, we're about to hit where we were with our dockyard size, and we're still making money. We're still making money. Our GDP doesn't grow too fast, but it grows. It's a very small grind. Very, very small grind. But hey, look at this. We're 1.1 billion in southern Spain and northern Spain, or almost or 1 billion in northern Spain. Western Spain, still a piece of shit. I love you. Western Spain. Don't hate me. Don't hate me. It's okay. It's okay. It'll be all right. Actually, let's do a GDP check real quick. 126 billion on the British with a 10.8 growth. Spain 68 billion with an 8.9. So the Brits are trouncing the French in this one. The Germans 70 billion with a 9.9, almost a 10. 40 Soviets with 42 billion with a 5.5. So very similar to ours. Actually, we have a better growth rate than they do. China with 33 billion with 7.7. So they basically they're double us with about 0.8% more GDP growth. The Americans 45 billion with an 11.7. So they're gonna grow quick. They start small, but once they actually start growing, they're gonna grow quick. The Italians with 40 billion at 8.5. The Austrians at 38 billion with 7.77. The Japanese 24 billion, but with a 9.5. So the Japanese actually in a good position as well if they can start taking territory. They are actually in a great position if they can start taking territory. But we're just us being the little boy with the 16 billion, 16.1 billion. We are literally the smallest economy in the world. Like, the Japanese are far ahead of us, technically speaking. So, yeah, we got some growing to do. But that's fine. That's fine. It's okay. We'll get there. Eventually, when we start taking territory from people, we'll be fine. We'll more than double our GDP. We'll quadruple our GDP base, or almost hextuple. Yeah, we'll almost hextuple it. No. Why would I do that? Fuck you. But this will almost hextuple our GDP once we take all their territory, and it will be glorious. It'll be a glorious day for the Empire. All right, are they making progress? 7%, boys. The poor fucking Austrians. Mind you, this is why when I play Austria, I rush Dreadnought 1 as fast as I can. So the Dreadnought 1 for Austria is actually my favorite hull in the game. Actually, if you guys go on to the community page, I put a community post up asking what was your guys' favorite hulls. My favorite is actually the Austrian Dreadnought 1 because it's not too small, it's not too big, It's kind of just in that nice middle ground where it can have a lot of stuff on it, and you can basically keep them the entire game if you wanted to. And if you build like 8 of them, 10 of them, you have a lot of army logistics that you can fucking utilize to actually fucking just spread across the Balkans. It's really nice. Like, just an amazing amount of stuff you can do with Austria when you actually like focus on dreadnoughts. I think my favorite methodology with dreadnought or with Austria is focus on dreadnoughts and destroyers, and then come in later. Like along the way, you'll kind of naturally just get the fast armored cruiser. The fast armored cruiser is also a great little like. I like to use them to protect trade for the most part. So I don't want to get into a war right now, but I will want to get into a war later. So we're up to 9,000 heavy cruiser. We have 5 months and we'll get 17-inch torpedoes. Oh, I forgot to be doing this. Improve relations with China. And improving relations with China is really easy because I'm not really interacting with them navally, so it's actually really easy to improve relations with them. Same thing with the Germans. I'm not. They're not within my sphere. How much is this actually going to hurt my budget? Because I'm kind of okay with this. Okay, that didn't hurt too bad. Are we still above 5%? Oh, we're well over. Oh, wow. Yeah, okay, I'm fine with that. Like, I'm actually fine with that. That was a decent enough trade. Okay, now the Austrians are going to start making progress now that they've gotten enough kills on the Serbians. So that's probably going to go to the Austrians. Oh, I forgot to hug the Germans. As I choke on Sprite. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't need to lose a shit ton of money for non-existent unrest. Like that's kind of the great part is that we have like non-existent unrest, and so like any event like that, it's like no, like I don't want to lose anything. The U.S. poked us apparently. All right, 2 months on 17-inch. Again, once we hit 18-inch, we'll transition over to small guns. Oh no, that sucks. I kind of feel bad for the AI on that one. The advance gave up the ghost. Oh no. Poor Austria. But that's not the kind of situation you want to be in. Like you finally break it, you finally get far enough in, and you fail because reasons. That sucks. Yeah, well, Eventually, we'll take Austria, and we'll be able to fix their issues. Actually, real quick, what is our army logistics? 7%. 7% army logistics. Oh my god, so bad. Well, hey, actually, I say that out loud, but in reality, the fact that we have nothing but torpedo boats and a few light cruisers, and we have 7% army logistics is actually kind of impressive. It's like, oh, we actually have something? Weird. All right, so. Making back over 1 million. So we're going to go 4-4 on our main fleet. So 4 armor cruisers, 4 light cruisers. And then that should give us the overall tonnage we need in these fleets, especially when we get the new light cruisers out. That should give us the overall tonnage we need in order to be able to actually take territory from the Italians. Which actually... 7,000 tons for the light cruiser 2, right? 7,000 tons. Yeah, 7,000 tons. So we're almost there. So we do want to start focusing on the guns as soon as possible, actually. Which is kind of annoying because I would love to get 18-inch torpedoes, but the torpedo tech is taking so long to research. I kind of wish I could throw more money into the research and development, but I can't. It's like, god damn it. Like, let me invest more. All right. Well, our type 2 light cruisers might end up having 4-inch guns to begin with. But we can make them 4.7s, and they will be pretty good. So, also, you guys keep requesting that there's been several people that have done this, where they keep requesting, like, hey, can you switch to millimeters, and so on and so forth. And the reason why I don't is because I know the relative, I know the relative conversions, and so like 6.1 is 155 millimeter. 4.7, if I remember correctly, that's 100 millimeter. Yeah, pretty sure that's 100 millimeter. So on and so forth. I know the relative conversions, so I'm like, yeah, I could, but I also don't need to. Like, it's not as big of a priority for me. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a dick to anybody, but it's like, do I really need to? So we're about to get 10,000 ton armor cruiser, which is awesome, because now we're getting into that breakthrough period. It's like, oh, hey, we're about to get to the point where we can actually start building these bigger ships and actually being able to invade stuff. Awesome. We'll eat a little bit. Yeah, we'll just do that. What's our relations with them? We don't want to go to war soon. We want to go to war when we want to go to war. Also, hug the Germans, because I keep forgetting to do that. But we want to go to war on our terms, not on their terms. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Trade 1% naval GDP. I will take it just because I don't want to piss the French off. Like, I don't know what our relations are, but we're at 7%. Like, we didn't lose much. So, I'll take it. We're at 7% growth. All right. Okay, that should be researching relatively quickly. So, I think we'll survive if we let that go for right now. So the goal is that our armor cruisers, and this is what I'm kind of thinking of, is our light cruiser 2s, our type 2 light cruisers, they'll still have 4.7 inch guns. We won't be able to get the 5 inch guns on them, and then the armor cruisers will be armed with 4.7s as well. And then when we do the transition to 5 inch guns, everything will get refitted with 5 inch guns. I think that's kind of where I'm going to go with this. It gives me the ability to field our stuff faster and be able to actually do things rather than being forced into a position of, oh, we're not allowed to do things, or hey, we're not able to do this because of X. I'd rather just be flexible with it. Yeah, we're looking pretty good. 900-ton destroyers about to research. Yeah, we just need to get the techs. We just need to get all the different little things. Let's go ahead and speed through to 1901 before we end the video. So I think our first goals for when we go to war with the I trade a couple relation points. Like, we still have decent relations with them. We can trade that for a couple prestige. Wait. Motherfucker! Indonesia spawned in Java, and immediately they ally with the Chinese. Motherfucker! How dare you? I want a friend. Here I am building world-class fucking warships, and nobody wants to be my friend. Like, what is this bullshit? What is this? Bastards. I'm not crying, you're crying. So if we can keep getting this prestige up, like, at this point in time, once we hit 500, that's our go for getting our government changed, because then we can retain our office, remain in power, and then get rid of the government and be able to be like, thank you for extra money. Thank you for running the country properly. I appreciate. All right, and we're about to get 11,000 ton. Yeah, boy. Armor Cruiser 4. Let's go check that out real quick. What's that bad boy look like? Armor Cruiser 4. Oh, it's this one. Okay. So this one maxes out 15,000 tons, which would be great, but this one is what we're going to go with. And it maxes out at 12,000 tons. Now, it kind of sucks because this one is just a flat fucking upgrade stability-wise. And the hull form's still high, 55. Anything over 50 on a stat is good, by the way. Like, across the board, if it's over 50, it's a solid ship. A solid hull. This one, I would like the higher stability. Like, I'm willing to sacrifice some floatability for the stability just from the perspective of being able to, do warfighting things. But, it is what it is. But this bad boy right here, once we have 12,000, we'll go ahead and start designing that. So we still have, we'll probably get that as the next tech. Still less than halfway through 18-inch torpedoes. God. Game, why do you do this to me? Oh, Korea just canceled with China. Please sign on with me, Korea. I will sell you boat. I will sell you all the boat. I have plenty of boats for you. Okay. Well, let's get a roll of the dice, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we get ourselves our first ally. Because again, I would love somebody to sell boats to. I'm in a perfect position to be producing ships for other people right now. It's like, please, let me build you things. Portugal canceled. Okay, so apparently China is going through some major problems or something because all their allies are canceling with them. What's going on? Oh yeah. 53 unrest, minus 90 or negative 97 prestige. They're going to lose all of their allies. They're going to lose every single fucking ally that they have. The Koreans have yet to sign on with anybody else, which is good. That's a good sign. So hopefully we're enticing enough. The French, as normal, are taking over Africa. Belgium canceled. France has taken over Liberia, so there you go. Like, they're just taking over everything. Alright. Again. Yeah, the only ally they have left is Indonesia. Only one left. Let's also improve with Japan because we can also use them to farm prestige as well. Like, we can basically use anybody who's not within the Mediterranean to farm prestige. Like, we can just farm prestige off these people. $6,500. I'll fail on the prestige farm. That's okay. Germany. Hello, baby. I love you long time. Yeah, these nations have not signed on with anybody. Interesting. All right, so 5 months on 18-inch torpedoes. Thank freaking God. Actually, we're about to get the next level of torpedo propulsion as well. So we might just have to do a refit based on this. Because if we put the focus on there, 5 months, yeah, okay. We'll finish up the torpedo size, and then we'll also do that. Even though I talked about, oh, I need to get over to small guns. It's like, oh, well, extra torpedo range? Don't mind if I do. They're fast as fuck and have a decent range. I don't have to get too close to you in order to kill you. All right, cool. Politics. Try the Japanese again. We don't want to ally anybody. So like we're allied to the Brits, which is kind of actually a good thing for us across the board because it means that like the Brits are suffering or the Italians are suffering with both of us and the Brits, which is good. Oh, we might get dragged into a war. Oh shit. We might actually get dragged into a war inadvertently. Oh, crap. Okay, well, that's kind of annoying. Well, let's see. It'd be nice if we didn't get dragged into a war. But I can saturate the Mediterranean with torpedo boats and just be an annoying little pest for the Italians and just sink all their fucking shit. It's like there's nothing they can really do against us. Like they can if they turtle up real hard, they will have a better chance against us. But the problem is if they turtle too hard, then it puts them in a really dangerous fucking position. So because then torpedoes really can't miss at that range and at that speed, and if the enemy is bundled up real hard, then it's like, oh, well, okay, thanks for making yourself an easy target. All right, let's just keep doing the Japanese, I think. Again, we need prestige. That's all we fucking need. So the more prestige we have, the better. Oh. No, I don't think so. I was about to say, I'm like, free ally is not bad. Like, it's one of those cases where I'm like, I'm actually half tempted. But, alright, so the Soviets, we can improve with the Germans again, probably. And the Americans we can also improve with. Alright, 1901. And that should be 12,000 ton heavy or armor cruisers unlocked. No. Oh, we already unlocked them. Whoops. Okay, I wasn't paying attention. Okay, that's fine. Okay, new design, real quick. Let's do this before we close out the video. So, again, we go Armor Cruiser 3. Max displacement. We're running at a blistering 22 knots. Which, in reality, is actually a great speed to be running at. All right, 4 stack. She's not going to have a great amount of range, but she doesn't need a great amount of range because we're not going outside of the Mediterranean. Casement gun-wise, I would love to have 4-inch guns available on this. We're just going to put the 5-inch guns because that's what I want her to have anyways. And then we're going to go with 3.9-inch guns as the secondary. And then can we fit any secondary? Okay, no, we can't. Okay, that's fine. So secondary battery is made up of 5 will be 5.5-inch guns, 3.9-inch guns, main battery of 9-inch guns. We're not going to increase the size of those just yet. Give her some torpedoes for when she runs up on somebody like a fiend. All right. So, actually, you know what? Let's go semi-armor piercing. Let's go base fuse. Let's go 18-inch torpedoes. What's the range on these torpedoes? 3,000, right? Why? Okay, there we go. 3,000 meter. Yeah. All right, so we'll leave those like that. We'll do a reduced load of torpedoes. So she'll have 2 shot. No, just 1 shot. Okay, so she'll have 1 shot of her torpedoes, which is fine because the chances of her actually getting within range to use the torpedoes, relatively slim. But if, say, for example, she's hitting a convoy, she can roll up, dump some torps into one thing, and then roll on by. All right, so main belt. How big of a main belt can we make? 6. Okay, so let's go 6, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, 6. And then we'll go 10, 10, 9, 10. Okay, we can do that. And then 8, 2, 2, 4. Actually, you know what? Let's make these 6. Save on some weight. Okay, so in reality, unfortunately, we are not going to be able to really do much unless we cut down on that. What if we drop her to 21 knots? Okay, yeah, that's where a lot of the weight was. So we'll drop her to 21 knots. 5.5-inch guns. Bring her speed up, or her range up. Okay, yeah. Perfect, perfect, perfect. What's her crew complement? 1,094. It's a pretty large crew complement. I wonder if there's a way for us to decrease that significantly enough. Where's the majority of her crew going to be at? So the majority is the control. That's where the majority of the crew is. If we were to reduce the number of secondary batteries, but I don't want to reduce the number of secondary batteries. I guess we can. What if we cut that one? What's that kind of leave it at? 1090 or 1080? Yeah, 1080. Okay, yeah. Let's do that, and then. Yeah, it's just the overall. These are big ships. Like at the end of the day, they're fucking big ships, and they're older designs. I wonder, reduce it like that. That brings it under 1,000. I'm kind of feeling like this might be the move. This might be the move. What happens if I do this? Kind of do that. So we're almost down to 900, which I think that should be good. I think that should be good. So overall, looking pretty snazzy. She has the armament to be dangerous. Actually, we can go ahead and probably get away with doing this. Okay, cool. Crew does not change at all with the upsizing of the guns, which is fine by me. And this gives her plenty of stuff to play around with. Let's go ahead and increase. Let's do this. Standard. Yeah. We'll leave it. We'll leave it all standard. Actually, I wonder, does the size of the shells actually determine how much ammo? Hold on. No, it doesn't. Okay. What's their overall performance going to look like? Lots and lots of good range. I would almost want to put stereoscopic on these. Yeah, stereoscopic would be the better one to use on these. So, all right, there we go. Oh, crap! I did that. Type 1 armored cruiser. All right. So the Type 1 heavy armor cruiser is ready to go. I keep calling it a heavy cruiser, but this is not a heavy cruiser. This is not a heavy cruiser by any stretch of the imagination at this point in time. But I digress. Get this bad boy into the fleet. And thus we officially have our heavy warfare option, and we will be able to start really making it painful for the Italians to exist. So, oh, we can build them all at the same time. We're gonna take a year. We're gonna take a year off building up the dockyards. We'll hold off for a year because, you know, losing 3.8 million, that's fine. We can sustain that pretty easily. Unfortunately, just the lack of crew is really gonna hurt because it's gonna take us a while to be able to get these all fully staffed. But actually, can I suspend? And we make 3. Then we can do, say, 6 months. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. Still grow a little bit. Still build. Yeah, we can do that. All right, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up for you guys. I hope you enjoyed. We're about to have the ships that give us the ability to invade, and it's gonna be real fun. So I'll talk to you guys later. Love you all.